As anyone who has visited London knows, you need to sell at least half a kidney to afford a lengthy trip there. And by God, if you decide to do some shopping at Oxford Circus too, you may as well just declare bankruptcy. That being said, there are a lot of free and cheap things to do. I'm a runner, so I checked out parks right after I arrived at my hotel for my 5 day trip. A girl has to run, especially if she wants to stuff her face with good Indian food later that day. I booked a hot wire hotel near Kensington Gardens and Hyde Park, so I laced up my shoes and went for a 7 miler there. Yeah, 7 miles on vacation. I'm clearly someone who makes great trip itineraries. The parks are lovely places to enjoy, whether you're actually spending valuable vacation time sweating your tuchus off, just going for a stroll, or really needing to use your camera's iris like me here. So I think more people than I've seen in my entire life live in London, and a ton of people visit London too. So this is basically the only spot where I could set my tripod down and not get trampled by fellow tourists and Londoners' dogs. But this is Kensington Gardens, which is a great place to run like I did, or walk, or just sit down and watch people, and it's free, so thrifty trips. There are lovely swans, gorgeous water bodies, and lots of trees for shade. It's also fun to watch the multitudes and creep on their dogs. Another great money saving tip, there's a Whole Foods just outside Kensington Gardens on Kensington High Street. You can go there to get some picnic fixings or maybe a pre made sandwich if you're feeling especially luxurious. I went there to pick up something for dinner a few nights because going out to eat every night is offensive to my thrifty nature. There are plenty of other gorgeous parks to enjoy throughout the city. If you want to overspend by the crazy amount of £16, a great site is Shakespeare's Globe. I'm one of those weirdos who completely enjoyed all the stuff I had to read in high school and college literature classes, so I nerded out in anticipation of visiting this great place.
But the one drawing of the globe that we think is accurate does not show beams exposed on this building, but it does show them exposed on other buildings in the same.
The fee covers a very informative tour inside the actual theater and as much time as you'd like to spend in the exhibition. Our guide, a super suave man in flannel, said he'd prefer if we didn't film video in the theater, so I'm just sneaking one inside still pic. Oh, see, that was quick. The idea of seeing a play in London is super appealing because it's freaking London, and the Globe is one place to do so quite cheaply. If you'd like to get a yard seat for a performance, it's only £5. I mean, you have to stand the whole time, but again, more calorie burning for Indian food. One of the guys who worked there gave me a helpful tip. If a play is sold out, which The Merchant of Venice was because it was the last weekend it was staged, go to the ticket office and see if anyone has sold their ticket back. If he hadn't told me this and given me the information on the cheap seats, I may not have gone. Thanks, random Globe employee with the glasses. Ultimately, I ended up taking an actual seat high up to the left of the stage, but how often are you going to be able to blow through your savings in London? Once you leave the Globe, another fun free thing to do is just walk around the Thames. I went in October and it was still a lively place. There were street performers, lots of people to watch, and it was even enjoyable when I got poured on because I didn't want to bring out my embarrassing Union Jack umbrella. Of course, there is one thing about London that appeals to the cheapskate sensibility. There are so many free museums. You can check out the National Gallery, the Natural History Museum, the Science Museum, the Tate Modern, and so many more. My absolute favorite, though, is the Victoria and Albert Museum. On this latest trip, I spent hours upon hours in there. You can see historical exhibits on fashion, housewares, furniture, arts, and my favorite, rebuilt rooms from centuries past. Sitting or standing in them feels like going back in time. Since the doctor won't sweep me off in his TARDIS anytime soon, it's the closest I can get. When it comes to food, I really only got restaurant food twice. I went to two chain-type places that were near my hotel, the Italian Pizza Connection and Masala Zone. At the first spot, I got a pretty tasty cheesy pizza and a garlic pizza bread for around £20. That should have fed two people, but I traveled alone and believe there is no such thing as over-consuming Italian food. There's also no such thing as overconsumption of Indian food. At Masala Zone, I went rogue as a cheapskate and got veggie samosas, nilgiri veggie curry, and garlic naan. All that food came to around 17 pounds. I would have willingly eaten enough of it to gain 17 pounds too. With the parks, free museums, the chance to see a play at the Globe for 5 pounds, and the ability to spend all the money you've saved eating Indian food, why not check out London?